How are we all doing? The week that was. It's Tuesday, so I forgot to do it on Monday once again, like last week. What an awesome week. Got a nice interview happening in about an hour's time with an organisation called Whistleblowers or something around there. So I'm looking forward to that. That's been on the books for the last couple of weeks. And it's going to happen this morning, so that's quite cool. They reached out to me after I was in the New York Times. Woo! Had a lovely interview with Radio New Zealand. It was pre-recorded last Thursday, which is pretty cool. However, I might put my headphones back in. They said it was going to be on Thursday and it happened to be on Monday. And I was doing another podcast at the time. Radio, how exciting is that? People were messaging here, so quite neat to be in your own country's main radio station. So that was pretty cool. And I'm coming to you live on an iPhone 14 Pro Max. My mate downgraded his phone because he didn't like the size of it, so I've managed to nab his old phone, which is awesome. So I love the technology that this phone has. It's got an amazing camera in it, which is really cool. So I can actually use it for when I do my YouTubing, which is pretty cool. I went through some of my archives and uploaded about, I've got 10 new videos online this week. The impact has been awesome because it's old content. And the old content, what I like about it is that it's showing you a lot of the flaws and the fake promises that these people from Hyperverse are actually have claimed and haven't come to fruition, which is really cool. And I'm hoping to log into a website called hypercommunity.link. And then when you click on presentations, it will ask you for a password. The password is 1010, so 1010, and you'll be able to see Hypernation's, Hyperverse, Hyperfunds last leadership meeting. And I haven't seen it yet, so you can be there before me. It should be online now. It normally takes about 48 hours before they put the recording online. And the funny thing about that is they actually talk about my article that was in the New York Times. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been doing a lot of personal branding and marketing. I don't know exactly what you guys expect or know about people like myself who are YouTubers. It's not a money making exercise. It might be one day if I get to the level of some of these other YouTubers, but I really want to, expose these Ponzi schemes, guys, and the time and energy it takes. So I think I uploaded 7 or 8 videos. I started doing it at 11 o'clock and I needed to put all the wording in it. At 4 a.m. I went to bed. Anyway, so I'm out walking. I had a think tank meeting that was just a couple of mates. If you ever want to join that, go to theheck.com. Anyone's welcome. But see, last night's meeting, we had 4 of us in there. It's just a really laid back conversation. We don't want it to become a men's club, but at the moment it is a bit of a men's club, so everyone's welcome. Anyway, my point of that is we talked about having goals, and one of the things that I started doing a couple of weeks ago, thanks to Dave, who was in the meeting, we call him Accountable Dave, is we enjoyed getting up in the mornings, and for 6 days in a row I did 10,000 steps, and then life got in the way. Puppy got neutered and I had to look after him. Partner went away, blah blah blah, every excuse under the sun. Anyway, my point is, no excuse this morning. So I woke up, looked at the alarm clock at 10 to 7, I should get out of bed, laid in bed, felt guilty for a while, and then got up at 7 o'clock, quarter past 7, got dressed in the like, and I've got an appointment at 20 past 9, so I'm thinking, I won't go. I won't go for my walk. I better keep an eye on that, by the way. And but I did, and here I am, and I've got to turn around in a minute, head back home, get in front of a computer, and do a Zoom meeting. So, bit of a laugh. But anyway, that's my story. What else happened this week? As I said, I got interviewed by the Stuff newspaper, and then they haven't published my article. I don't know why, but I remember I had an article in the Stuff newspaper. Must be 15 years ago, and it was when I was going through a divorce, and they didn't paint me in such a good light. But I wrote to the editor once and told him that I think that article really stunted my business career, and and I don't know why they keep these articles that really harm people's businesses, and it does piss you off when they're not factual. And it finished up being a lady who was a friend of my ex-wife, and I was going through a real messy divorce. Anyway, maybe, I keep thinking, maybe it's because I wrote to the editor and published a blog and did a video all about this article, and that the paper doesn't like me. However, they have published other articles around that, so who knows. But anyway, that's my thought on that. Thought I'd tell you the inside scoop on that. What else can I tell you? Don't know, pretty exhausted really. We had a big problem with our drop shipping shops for the last month, and Google changed something, which means that I had to learn a whole lot more. The pricing of the goods that we have has gone up due to shipping, Christmas, and the like. So literally, our drop shipping businesses that we survive on are basically dead in the water. However, this week, a mate of mine helped me out with some of the basics. Some of the stuff that we didn't connect properly. So what I'm trying to say is we're all systems go again, and that's a big relief, because I believe that you always got to have something, something that obviously brings you in active income. A lot of people on the internet at the moment are trying to sell people a passive income, and I think, I'm going to turn around, I think the truth of the matter is we shouldn't be looking at these Instagrammers who are displaying lavish lifestyles and claiming that they don't stress about money or security, because a lot of people put security for their money for their security and their future, and actually get stuck into doing some good old-fashioned old business. And I just did a post on my YouTube channel, replied to somebody who listened to my interview on the radio, and I said to them, imagine if crypto finishes and everyone decided that they're going to put their time and energy into selling products or services instead. Imagine what that would do to the world economy, because at the end of the day, the hype of crypto and what it can do is basically just a disruptor. It's like me doing these videos for these Ponzi scheme guys. I meant to do an interview with Andre Christensen. He's the owner of a Ponzi scheme called Super.1. Now, he alleges he's going to give me an interview for an hour, but I can't understand why somebody who's got such a legitimate business wants to talk to a YouTuber who's called the crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger and tell them that he's not full of crike. Like, I have an influence, maybe I do, but theoretically, we did a bit of a test a wee while ago, because when I had my the reporter who interviewed me about 4 times for the New York Times, which is really cool, I said, he said he knocked on the door of Keith Williams' house, and Keith, they said Keith didn't want to come to the door for whatever reason, and I'm thinking, wow, here's an oxymoron. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Andre Christensen from Super.1 if he would like to have an interview with the New York Times, and that would be really good, because theoretically mainstream media would give him a lot of exposure, and if he's not doing anything shady, we're not running a Ponzi scheme and it's a legitimate business, he should thrive at the opportunity. Obviously Keith Williams, who claims to be the, get this, global sales representative for Hypernation, along with his bunch of Queenies, don't want to speak to the press. That's just an oxymoron, isn't it? So a bit of a laugh, really. Yeah, anyway, so it's cool. All right, so I want you guys to think about something that, now if you go to my YouTube channel, which you're already on because you're watching this, and you click on lives, you'll see last night's meeting, and we had a good discussion about setting goals. Now, when I used to own a business networking company called Elite Six, I used to have 150 business people that used to get together each week, and on a Friday we used to run what I called a think tank meeting, and that's actually how I got into podcasting, because I wanted to record these meetings. Now, what we'd do, we'd come up with a topic. So, for example, our four guys discussed the topic of goals, and we basically asked the question, what's people's experience with goals? And then what's some solutions that people can have? I've got the third one. Experience, solutions, and problems. So we discussed those in depth. Now, if you've got a goal and you're trying to get motivated to do something, so my goal at the moment is to do 10,000 steps each day and not 70,000 a week. I want to make sure I maintain a goal. Now, the only way to really do that is to actually tell people, make yourself accountable. And we had Paul from Perth in there last night, and he said that if he's really serious about a goal, he will put money down on the table. So whoever he tells his mate, he says, look, I'll give you $1,000 if I don't achieve my goal. Now let's say his goal might be to say ride 1,000 kilometers a week on his bike. If he gets to 900 kilometers, then he only has to pay his friend $100. You get the idea behind it, but it's pretty cool. I like it. So what I'm trying to do is I could have stayed at home, got my gear all set up for my interview at 9:20, which my watch is so fancy, I don't know what time it is right now, but I think it's about 9:15. So if I get stuck and I don't make it back in time, it's quite a cool interview. So if I don't get there, I'll have to run. And if I run, I might think I like running instead of walking. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is I'll probably have to start running in a minute, and then I'll have an experience that I didn't expect to have when I could have stayed in the fart sack and for an extra warm out, keep it warm and cozy, and sleep the day away. So anyway, so my goal is to do 10,000 steps a day, and obviously to get out of bed in the morning. Oh, a new article in the New York Times. What that is? I've got. I actually paid for a subscription, and I also paid for the paper to be delivered to New Zealand. It hasn't turned up yet, but I'm looking forward to getting that. So anyway, that was the week that was. Haven't got any wisdom to share other than set yourself a goal, let's accomplish it, and if you need to be made accountable, come along to my think tank meetings, and do check out my website. If you're in New Zealand, you can just go to danny.co.nz, and if you're in America and you like .coms, you can go to theheck.com. And if you want any help setting up your personal brand, that's what I do. And also, at the moment, I'm doing a lot of drop shipping, and that's how I survive, because it's all about surviving and thriving in business, isn't it? And we do it by sharing our experience and knowledge and skills with each other. All right, so that's me. I better get my A into G, and I've got a couple of new videos. Well, I've got a new video coming out today. Should be live in about 4 hours. You have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next week on the week that was.